CBC.
Deep left center, and this one will go, and another strikeout. He got it. 2. Line drive to right field, diving catch, Barger. Game 5 is underway with a fly ball to deep left, gone! Into left field, but caught. The throw to second, in time.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Happy Saturday, Canada. Welcome to our special coverage this evening of Game 7 of the World Series in Toronto. So as we settle in, let's give you a sense of where we are. You are looking at the center of the baseball world right now. A bird's eye view of downtown Toronto, where Game 7 of the World Series between the Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers goes tonight at the Rogers Centre. This is it. This is the one and done game. Millions of Canadian baseball fans are on pins and needles. Little fun fact for you. This is the first Game 7 of any championship finals to take place in Toronto since 1964. So, where's the most important place to be right now? It's inside the Rogers Centre. Thomas Daig is right there where all the action will take place. So, Thomas, both teams obviously chasing history tonight. Can we start with the pitching plan? This is crucial for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I don't know, Adrienne, if you've seen the Marvel Cinematic Classic Avengers Endgames, but there's a scene in the movie where all the superheroes come in, all one after the other, in quick succession and defeat the bad guys. Well, that's sort of what the pitching plan is for the Blue Jays tonight. All their top pitchers, except perhaps Kevin Gausman, who pitched 6 innings last night, all of them are available. So Max Scherzer is getting the start. Perhaps he'll only go 2 or 3 innings. Then you could see someone like perhaps a Trey Savage, or indeed a Shane Bieber coming in, who are typically starting pitchers who started for the Jays in the World Series and who could be coming in as relief tonight, because there is no tomorrow. No matter how many innings these guys pitch, they won't be pitching in a game for real until the spring again. They will have access to all of their relievers. Same thing on the other end for the Dodgers. But in terms of that starting pitcher, Max Scherzer, 41 years old. He's a veteran. He has won 2 World Series on teams himself. And the last time a World Series went to a Game 7 in 2019, he was the starting pitcher for the Washington Nationals, who won that game, won the World Series. Here is Jays manager John Schneider talking about Scherzer.
That's the 2 best words in sports, you know, Game 7. No better guy to have on the mound to kind of navigate the emotions, the stuff. Max has been getting ready for Game 7 when he knew he was pitching Game 3. So all the confidence in the world in him and everyone.
Okay, so Max Scherzer, people have so much faith in him. And I think we've heard from the Dodgers that it's Shohei Ohtani who will be their starting pitcher tonight. I don't know, where should the fear meter be on that, Thomas?
Well, there's no question he is a phenomenal pitcher, a phenomenal hitter, and the fact that he does both certainly played into the decision for Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, to name Shohei Ohtani their starting pitcher tonight, even though he's only going on 3 full days rest. Ohtani doesn't typically do that. In fact, he's never done that this season. He usually pitches on 5 or more days rest. But with this 2-way player rule that only really affects Ohtani, because he's the only pitcher and hitter in the majors, if he came in as a relief pitcher and left the game after an inning or 2, they would have to get rid of him as the designated hitter as well. But since he is the starting pitcher, he will be allowed to be the designated hitter as well through the entire game, all 9 innings plus, even though he will eventually leave the game as a starting pitcher. All bets are off tonight, Adrienne. The place is filling up. It's electric here.
Okay, Thomas Daig is at field level at Rogers Centre in Toronto. I wish you could stay there for the whole game, although it looks a little dangerous, but I'm glad you're in there. So from inside to outside, where Blue Jays fans started lining up outside Rogers Centre hours before the game, the CBC's Greg Ross has been at the heart of all that buzz really throughout this entire run. You've seen everything when it comes to this team, Greg. What's it been like out there today?
Well, just look at this atmosphere right here. These fans making their way in, Adrian, for Game 7. And I got to tell you, the confidence is incredible. This man right here, this is a very special man right here. This is Braden Fisher's father, Blue Jay pitcher Braden Fisher. And I mean, you said you're not feeling any nerves at all, even though your son is about to play in Game 7 of the World Series.
Not at all. Just like he said this morning, it's just another game, Dad.
And is that how you feel, though? I mean, you got to be, come on, a little tension. Yeah.
When he gets in there, I'll be nervous.
What would it be like to have a son win a World Series like this, Game 7 against Shohei Ohtani? I mean,
Dream come true. He's been playing ball since he was 5 years old. This is what he's worked for his whole life.
And you're in here from Texas for this game tonight. Obviously not worried about the Canadian cold at all. You look like you're very comfortable right now. These guys are pumped up. I mean, look, it's Shohei Ohtani on the other side. You've got Max Scherzer.
Fisher.
We got Fisher. How do you feel about Max Scherzer, though? 41 years old on the hill for the Blue Jays in this game tonight.
These guys this far, let's keep rolling with it.
Let's keep rolling. All right. That's kind of the sentiment, Adrian. You walk around, you talk to these fans, and they all feel the same way. You just feel confident. You're not worried. It's Game 7. It's winner take all, do or die. All of the cliches, but yeah, you're still ready to go.
Absolutely. We have a complete team. We've shown it over and over again. It doesn't matter. Whatever we're up against, we both do.
And we've been hearing over and over again just about how this team, the chemistry of this team, the makeup of this team. This is a team that never quits. Remember, Adrian, this is a team that came from behind 49 times in the regular season to win games. This is a team that lost an 18-inning marathon, but somehow found a way to come back the next day and beat these very Los Angeles Dodgers. Is that why fans are so confident? Because they've seen the Jays in tough positions all year and they've managed to bounce back?
Absolutely. It's a feel-good team. Feel-good team that can come back. I'm not worried if they're down. It's a good team, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's a team that, in the history of this franchise, hasn't faced a lot of Game 7s. This is only the third time in the history of the Toronto Blue Jays franchise that they're playing in a Game 7. One of the other ones was in this very postseason. That was Game 7 of the championship series against the Seattle Mariners. Before that, you have to go all the way back to the American League Championship Series in 1985 for the last time the Jays played in a Game 7. Only the sixth team ever to play in 2 Game 7s in the same postseason. Again, you're okay with the Game 7 situation. You're feeling excited. You're feeling confident.
We're very confident. We're going to take it today. Yeah.
Look at this little guy. You get to go to Game 7 of the World Series and watch your Toronto Blue Jays compete to win the championship. How does that feel? This is a memory you're never going to forget.
I don't know. I'm so nervous, but they're going to do it.
Finally, we get an honest fan. He says he's so nervous. The tension is definitely there. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of buzz in the air. But the tension is definitely there. Look at these guys. Let's go, Jays! Adrian, I don't know what else to say, but these guys are chomping at the bit to get inside, so I'm going to let them go, and I'll send it back to you.
Hey, Greg, thank you. I thank you very much. And for Greg, I don't know, can you still hear me? Because if you can, I guess not. I'm going to ask Greg to see if he can find that dad again. For people who just joined us, whose dad is that? And is there not somewhere else he needs to be right this moment?
That was Braden Fisher's dad, a pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays, and he is in there now. He has already taken off. He has left, and he is in the building.
That's amazing. That is pressure. How proud must he be? All right, that is CBC's Greg Ross at Rogers Centre in Toronto. Always a good sport. Here's another one. Devin Haru of CBC Sports, who's been watching this series so closely. Devin, we were here last night. I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit tense. Mm-hmm. Walk me through the tension today. Like, is it worse? Am I imagining things?
I mean, listen, as I walk to the stadium tonight, and it's great to see you, Adrian, on a night of consequence, on a night normally reserved for hockey in this country. It is baseball night in Canada. Game 7. Listen, it's a mix of excitement of gut-wrenching anxiety.
That's what that is. I wasn't sure. Okay.
And so away we go. If you're a baseball player, this is what you dream of. If you're a fan of these teams, this is what you cheer for.
Yep.
If you watch sports, this is what you live for. A Game 7 with everything on the line. 27 outs between the Toronto Blue Jays and the LA Dodgers. Maybe more than 27 outs, the way this series has gone. It's had absolutely everything, hasn't it? And they left us something to talk about, didn't they? From last night, the lodge ball, the ninth inning. You and I were on the air at the same time, processing that, Adrian, as it all unfolded. And it was a stunning end to the game, wasn't it?
It was. I want to show everybody what people woke up to in Toronto for those of us who still get newspapers. So this is the front page of the Toronto Star. This poor face here, this belongs to Addison Barger, who has been a hero of this series. Like, make no mistake, Addison Barger is amazing. This poor man had a rough night last night, and he talked about it and said that, it was a bad read on his part. He owned it.
Runners on second and third. Yep. Barger on second. Nobody out. Bottom of the ninth. 3-1. And there's a fly ball. At that point, of course, there was one out. A fly ball. He's trying to be aggressive, Adrian. Yeah. He's trying to find a way to tie this game. That's all he's thinking about in that moment. A fly ball. It's caught. They pick him off at second. It's a double play. And before anybody can wrap their head around what just happened, it's game over. And guess what? They're not going to panic. They've already left that on the field. Yeah. The second they walked off and went into the clubhouse last night, they started refocusing. I was paying attention to the post-game interviews and the pre-game interviews here today. Calm and collective. That's the mark of this team. We're going to take their lead tonight, Adrian, as they settle in for first pitch.
All right. Well, we will indeed. I promise to stay calm as long as you promise not to go anywhere. That is Devin Haru. We'll be here till the bitter end. Good on you. Those are Blue Jays fans in Iqaluit cheering the team on last night for Game 6. Toronto's Jays are Canada's team. We all know that. I've been joking with people today that this feels a little bit like Pumpkin Spice Canada Day. Countrywide, there are pockets of people all watching, including right there in Nunavut. Fans have gathered for watch parties. That would be the Storehouse. That's a local restaurant in the territory's capital. We all know the Jays lost Game 6 in a heartbreaker to the LA Dodgers last night, which is why they and we are back tonight for this winner-take-all Game 7. outside, the cooler it gets out here, the hotter it gets in there and across the country, because of course fans are gathering everywhere to watch this Game 7, including at Toronto's Nathan Phillips Square. The city is just too big to have everyone in one spot, so you've got an arena that is full of people. Nathan Phillips Square is full of people. Out in the suburbs, in community halls and other stadiums, it's just full. Deanna Sumanac-Johnson is right in the middle of it, joins us now from just outside Toronto City Hall. It looks a little chilled out and calm there right now. What does it feel like?
I like to believe, Adrian and Devin, that this is the calm before the storm. And I think that those of us who remember when the Raptors won the NBA championship, this was the scene of celebration. And I think that the fans gathered behind me are certainly hoping that that is going to be the occasion tonight as well. People are already gathering up. I can tell you there's probably twice as many people right now as there was about half an hour ago. And they have told me that they have driven as far away as Barrie. One lady drove in from Ottawa, London, Guelph, Ontario. We certainly know that there's plenty of people from other provinces as well. So really sparing no effort and no expenses to support Canada's team. And, you know, I had to ask them, what are you guys thinking? Who is going to win? They just answered with 3 words: want it all.
Right on. And, you know, we are just under 2 hours to the first pitch, so people are forgiven for not crowding in there yet. They know with this team it could be a very long time. Have you noticed, Deanna, as you chat with people, we've been talking about this throughout this run, how quickly they start telling you stories about 92, 93, their grandpa, their grandma, wishing their dad was here to take to the game, the jersey they got out of the attic. Like, what are you hearing from folks?
Absolutely. I mean, we know that there's no shortage of superstitions. I mean, you know, Addison Barger sleeping on David Schneider's couch. And one guy, right before I joined you, Adrian, offered me his lucky shirt. He's wearing a Paisley shirt, and he says every time he wears that shirt, the Jays absolutely win. So the fans are here with all of their lucky trinkets. We were also approached by a young artist who's going to take to the stage. He wrote a song cheering the Jays on, and he's going to be performing tonight. There's going to be a large screen where people can watch the game. Yes, it's chilly outside, but their enthusiasm is definitely keeping them warm. And yeah, they brought in all their little accoutrements, the little things that bring them good luck, and definitely all those stories. There's really a sense of the Jays being in the fiber of families, narratives that have been passed on about what it was like in 1993 when the Jays won last time. For me, the year my family moved to Canada, so I remember that year very clearly, and I certainly hope that this is the second time that I get to see it. Adrian.
Fantastic. Deanna Sumanac-Johnson at Nathan Phillips Square. I got to say, there's so many. Deanna talked about the superstitions, talked about the rituals. We all have, I think, have come to understand, whether you're a long-term fan or a bandwagon fan, that this is a team of people who really like each other. They are pals. It is true that Addison Barger slept on David Schneider's couch. Not sure where he slept last night. I mean, hoping he had an actual bed, because he's going to need one. Ernie Clement told people today that he slept barely an hour last night, that he was too excited, that he came down here to the Rogers Centre early, ran into a fan from Vancouver on his way, who tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, good luck today." The guy had a pillow under his arm, and he said, "Dude, did you just you sleep outside?" And the man said, I would have done anything to be here. So the Jays feel what the people of Canada are giving back to them, and they are trying to return too. I don't know if we have this image, but we saw earlier today Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Coming into the stadium. You know, he's been wearing various jerseys. This is him coming in today. Look who he's wearing. Captain Clutch, Marie-Philippe Poulin of women's hockey. There's Vladdy just casually walking in. All these Canadian athletes, and Vladdy is our Canadian on the Blue Jays, supporting each other. It is pretty great to see. This is Canada's team, and this is their big night. So go, Vladdy, go. Now, one reason the Blue Jays have done so well this year is exactly what we were just talking about, right? The close bond many of the players have shared for years. And it's not 1 or 2, 11 Blue Jays, including Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. are former members of what's called the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. That is a AA team in Manchester, New Hampshire, affiliated with the Jays. And so joining us now is the Fisher Cats general manager, Taylor Fisher, and the manager of broadcasting and media relations, Chris Jarrett, who is also the voice of the Fisher Cats on all those games broadcasts. I quite like the jerseys you're repping there. So thanks for speaking with us, Chris and Taylor. 11 former members of the Fisher Cats. Like, firstly, how did that come to be?
Oh, it's a
first
long
off, thanks for
time
having
making.
us, Adrian. I appreciate it.
Sorry, I should have. Chris, why don't you go first there?
Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, what a pleasure. But no, this is years in the making. As you mentioned, the Fisher Cats have been in town in Manchester since 2004. And so to the World Series stage with the Blue Jays, this is certainly a first. But when you look at who's on this team for the Blue Jays, it spans all the way back to 2011 when the Blue Jays pitching coach Pete Walker was here. They won an Eastern League title. And then even John Schneider, he was here in 2018 with Bo and Vlad, and they won it in 2018. So it's such a treat and so special to watch them reach the biggest stage in baseball.
Taylor, what have you learned about these 11 people that makes them different for you? Like, what I'm trying to figure out is, are we making too much of this idea that this is, as Ernie Clement says, just a group of uncommon men, or is that for real?
No, I think it's very real. For me, this is my first year as the general manager here with the Fisher Cats. So Trey is my one player so far who has made it up to the bigs, but I think the importance of team and culture is extremely important. A lot of people are saying that the Dodgers have all the best players, but the Jays have the best team, and I think we've seen that. Obviously, the Jays are an incredible team. They're playing their best together, and I think that does play a huge role in why they've made it to Game 7.
And Taylor or Chris, either one, for people who maybe aren't following baseball all that closely except for the last, I don't know, maybe 27 days, why does this kind of bond make a difference? Like, why would that be a big deal? Chris?
Yeah, and it's really because these are the group of guys that, they've grown up together. I think that's been what's so special about Bo and Vlad is an entire nation has been able to adopt them as their own and watch them grow from young men and young professionals into who they are. And it's not a given. It's not a guarantee that you can have guys that had the pedigree like Bo and Vlad and their dads did in the majors build into that and grow into that and shine into the biggest role. That's not a guarantee. You see that in different teams. They don't always make it to the World Series, and if they can win one more game, become world champions. It's not always a given, but these relationships, also on the coaching side, they spawn all the way back when they're in their younger days, down in Dunedin, up in Vancouver, here in New Hampshire, and when they get up to Buffalo and eventually Toronto. So this is years in the making of all the decisions that are made by John and his staff and the players in real time.
So can you give me just very briefly, what is a sign that a player is destined for something like this? Like, how do you tell by looking?
From my side of things, I think you can it's just the eye test. You can just kind of tell it when you see it. It's not necessarily all the anything tangible that you can feel and touch, but there are guys when they just walk into the clubhouse, you can just tell. I say they're built different. Trey Savage is this year's perfect example, going from low A all the way up to pitching in two of the biggest games in World Series history. How he carries himself day to day, the cliche of first in and last out. That definitely means something. And so there's just those guys, and for those that have followed Vladdy and Bo their whole career, they've been together for 10 years. They just have something different. They're built different, and now they're getting to show it on the world's biggest stage.
Chris, any last thoughts for you from these guys? Have you been texting with them or connecting with them?
You know what? I really leave that to my... You go.
Sorry, we got to go. I'm so sorry. Things are happening fast here. So Taylor Fisher and Chris Jarrett of the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, thanks you too.
Thank you, Adrian.
We have to go. Cheers. We have to go because for viewers tuning in on CBC Television, we have to say goodbye for now. If you're watching on CBC News Network, please stick around. Our special coverage will continue, of course, right after this very short break. Saturday night, it is baseball night in Canada. I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Welcome to our special coverage this evening of Game 7 of the World Series in Toronto. So, again, we need our friend here, Devin Heroux of CBC Sports. Tension, energy, feeling it all. Does it feel different from last night? Am I hallucinating now?
Well, you and I were talking about the fact that there was this cautious optimism going into last night, but that there was an air of, we still have Game 7.
Yes.
If it doesn't go our way. Yamamoto was spectacular. So now we hit the reset button, the palate cleanse. Game 7, 27 outs away. The defending champions against these Toronto Blue Jays, who, Adrian, at every turn this season, have met the moment. People have doubted them. They doubted them to close out the season to get home field advantage. They won 4 games to get that. To be able to play this game, and for the first time in Major League Baseball history, the season starts outside of the United States and ends outside of the United States. It ends right here in Canada tonight. And of course, all these fans who are gathering here behind us, they're feeling something. So the vibes are very different here tonight. A mix of anticipation, excitement, nervousness. When that first pitch flies, well, it's going to be rather exciting. A great look at that. Canadian flags. I've seen so many Canadian flags, Canadian apparel, and of course, you mentioned it a short time ago. We saw that great shot of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. walking in here tonight wearing a Marie-Philippe Poulin jersey. And if you believe in superstition,
and I do,
so do I, if you add up her gold medals between Olympics and World Championships, guess how many golds she's won? 7.
Okay, I get it.
I'll just leave that there. There it is. She is Captain Clutch. He gets it. You know, women's sport, women's hockey, it tugs at the national fabric, doesn't it? And Vladdy gets it as he strides in for the most consequential game of his life.
You know, the favorite thing that I've heard in the last day or two was about Ernie Clement, about his glove. So if you don't know the story, the deal is that Ernie Clement was asked about the glove that he's playing with, and he said, "Yeah, I bought it on eBay." Because his other glove had broken, and he needed another one, but he didn't want a brand new one. He needed to work it in, so he bought one on eBay. And if you don't believe me, have a listen to Ernie talking about it himself.
You bought that on eBay, your glove? You really bought it on eBay this year?
Yeah.
Why? That's awesome.
My other one broke, so I needed one quick, and that was already broken in, and my other ones aren't broken in the way I like. So
you have no idea whose this is?
No.
I wonder if they do. Do you think they have any clue?
I tried to look. They deleted their eBay account, so I have no idea who it is.
No way. So they stole that. That's probably someone's stolen glove.
Yeah, maybe.
That's awesome.
They made some money off it. So.
That's awesome.
So that is amazing. Now the glove is old enough that there isn't that much padding on it, and so he's got like another type of glove under that glove, and between the glove and the way he wears his hat, like there's what's not to love about this guy.
Relatable.
Yeah.
They are so relatable. They are uncommon men. And it takes that, Adrian, to go on a championship run like this team. Ernie said in his pregame comments, when we win tonight, they speak things into existence. Yeah. They are such a tight-knit group of misfits, it almost feels like. And I've been around a lot of teams and a lot of great athletes, and there is something just a little quirky about them. And you get the sense that's the makeup of this Blue Jays team. It has guided them all the way to this moment. And one last quick word on superstition.
Yes.
George Springer, of course, he has won a Game 7 in the World Series. That happened on November 1st, 2017, and it was against the LA Dodgers. The stars are aligning, Adrian, as we speak it into existence as well.
So that is why the Dodgers fans boo George Springer.
They don't like him.
Okay, understood. Also, the reference to the uncommon men that we keep hearing from Ernie Clement, that's from Herb Brooks, who was writing about the Miracle on Ice hockey team. So if this is not just baseball, maybe early it was baseball, it is no longer just about baseball.
It has wrapped this country together. You said it, community watch parties. I got a note from back home where I come from in Saskatchewan, where they are glued and caught up in this Blue Jays fever. They were watching the game last night on a grain elevator. They had projected the game onto a grain elevator. It doesn't get more Canadian than that. You said it. It is more than baseball. It is about national pride as we count down to first pitch. Adrian.
As we do. I want to ask you one question, if I may, about pitching tonight, about Max Scherzer. So he's done this before.
Yeah.
And he's not the freshest guy on the team, but that seems to be his superpower, no?
41 years old. Nothing's going to phase this guy in this moment. John Schneider, the skipper for the Blue Jays, said, I walked by him last night. He already looked like he was going to kill somebody out on the field.
And that's his MO, right?
Mad Max is his MO, and Max will be ready to go. He lives for this moment. If it is the last time he steps onto the field in what has been a Hall of Famer career, 2-time world champion, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, it is going to be goosebump-worthy stuff here tonight. Max Scherzer will be ready to go. He lives for this moment. It's why you play the game, Adrian. And remember that iconic moment when Schneider tried to pull him out of the game in Seattle, and he said, not today.
Yeah.
That's the energy he brings to the game. That is what he'll bring into the Rogers Center tonight.
Perfect. All right. You should be there. You should be there warm-up 5.
I'm ready to go.
They may need it. All right. Thank you, Devin. The energy that Devin was talking about, pretty electric outside the Rogers Center as fans get ready to witness what can only be baseball history. CBC's Jamie Strachan is in the heart of all of that. I'm not entirely clear precisely where you are, but walk me through what's going on, Jamie.
Hey, Adrian, nice to be with you. I'm outside of Gate 13. Gates open here at about 5:15, and fans have been lined up all day. Really, everywhere you go downtown, you encounter another lineup. Line up to get into restaurants, line up to get into the stadium, lines of police everywhere. It's a story of lineups downtown. The anticipation for this Game 7, of course, it's high. I mean, when you think of sports, the magic words are Game 7, those games that mean everything. And talking to people in the city today, it's the city I grew up in. I've been coming to these games since I was a little boy. There's definitely a golden ticket, a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory reference there. Those lucky enough to be in attendance attendance tonight. This is a game that people will remember. It's a game that people will remember being at, a game that people will remember watching, a special moment in sports history in this city, a game that will definitely become part of the fabric of this city, and it has that energy and that feel that accompanies that kind of narrative.
Jamie, can you tell me, given all your baseball acumen, what sort of game does it appear it will be tonight, based on what you know about these two pitchers?
Well, it's funny, Adrian. There's no sport that is built more around statistics than baseball. There's no sport built more around narratives that circle around a 162-game schedule plus spring training. It's the longest of the professional seasons. But really, when you look at all the statistics, when you look at all the prognostications, the matchup, you can really throw it out the window. It's Game 7. It's really anything goes. When you look on the mound, you have Shohei Ohtani, one of the all-time great players to play this game, at the plate and on the mound. He's likely going to go a couple of innings, what we call an opener in the modern-day parlance of baseball. The Dodgers will likely go to their bullpen early. And baseball is such a funny sport. I mean, you look at 41-year-old Max Scherzer. This was a guy not really on the radar at the beginning, a guy the Jays took a flyer on. Sure, he has that pedigree, but he started slow, battled injury problems. The Jays stuck with him. But as you guys mentioned a few moments ago, this is a guy who has been there before. But rest assured, if he falters, he has a very short leash. All hands on deck tonight with the exception of Kevin Gausman. Expect to see things in a baseball game for those who have been watching this team and who are familiar with this game that you don't usually see. Because this is Game 7. All the cards are on the table. Anything goes.
All right, Jamie Strachan in the right place at the right time, as always, right outside the Rogers Center. Thank you, Jamie. So when it comes to Major League franchises, the Blue Jays are no spring chicken. They have been around for nearly 50 years. Still, that is nothing compared to the LA Dodgers. Let's compare these two teams. So the Jays began play as an expansion team back in 1977. They have 2 glorious World Series titles, both in the early 90s, 92, 93. The Blue Jays have played in 2 ballparks in their history, the old Exhibition Stadium and the Rogers Center, which used to be called the Sky Dome. Some of us can't help ourselves, so call it the Dome. Now, the Dodgers have been around since the 19th century. They were founded in Brooklyn in 1883. They've won the World Series 8 times, including just last year. And in their long history, the Dodgers have played at several different parks, but they've been at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles since 1962. So here's the deal. If you want to watch a baseball game, you can always just turn on the TV. But if you really want to capture the magic atmosphere of the Blue Jays in the World Series, our next guest says there's no choice. You have to be where the action is. This is Aura, who made the impulsive but necessary decision this week to just go ahead and buy a plane ticket to fly from her home in Paris just to attend a Game 6 watch party in Toronto. And then you up the stakes by buying a resale ticket for Game 7. What was the moment when you said, I can't do this on TV or streaming anymore, I need to be there?
Well, I was watching the games last weekend because I'm in France. The time difference is 6 hours, and it's been really hard to watch the games. During the weeknights, I can't because I'm working, so the weekends I can do it. But I was watching at 5 a.m. and Friday and Saturday, and I just was dead after, and I thought, I'm watching by myself at 5 a.m. and it's amazing, but I need to be with fans. I need to be in Canada watching it. As a lifelong fan, I've been waiting for this moment since I was 8 years old. I saw the Jays game in 92 and 93. I saw them win, and it's my lifelong bucket list to see them live win the World Series. So I thought, okay, I have to be there. I'm not staying home, and I'm going to see what I can do to make it happen. And I did. It took some planning and a lot of careful organization, but I made it happen.
So you went to this watch party.
Well, actually, last night I just went to Nathan Phillips Square.
Yeah.
And then, I was keeping an eye on the tickets. So I have been checking during the week. They're going up, going down. I was going to buy a ticket last week, but the prices went up really high. But then I saw them fluctuate, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go. I always had a hunch it was going to be Game 7. I didn't want to say it out loud, but I thought, I think it's going to be Game 7. And I think it's because I wanted to be here. So I thought if I can make it here for Saturday, and then sure enough, there was a Game 7, and I just bounced on the tickets the day before.
So you got them.
I got a ticket. I'm here on my own. I mean, I'm just walking around and going to see the game. So I don't have any plan other than watching the game this weekend.
As you listen to all this, do you feel like this was a right call? Like, is your heart like, yes, I am where I need to be?
Oh yeah, as soon as I get in there, I know, like, no regrets. I've been wanting this forever, like many Jays fans. We've been waiting 32 years. I don't know when it'll happen again. I hope it'll happen more often in the coming years, but I know at least in my lifetime I've seen them live win a World Series, in the World Series, so I'm here and I'm ready for it.
Or are you like this in other parts of your life? Like, are you that friend who's like, just say yes, just do it?
You know what? I've just really been inspired by the Jays. I want it all. I'm not just going to go for a game once a year. I mean, because I live in France now, I can only go once a year. But I want it all. I don't want to just see a regular season game. I want to see them in the playoffs. And when you're a baseball fan, like, this is the stuff that dreams are made of, you know? Like, this is 7th game in the World Series. Like, you can't get any better than that. So yeah, I mean, in my life, I've done other crazy things. I've done last-minute trips before.
Like what?
So I've been to the Papal Conclave. I've been there 2013 when Pope Francis got elected. A few months ago when Pope Leo got elected. That was easier because I live in Paris, so Rome's not that far. But this is up there with the craziest stuff that I've done. And I have to say, when you're in an environment with thousands of people who are just as passionate about something as you are, it's not the same thing as watching it on home and TV. Great with your family, but being surrounded by thousands of people who love what you love, you can't beat that.
I mean, we just met, but I feel like there's a story here. I feel like there's something or someone who got you connected to the Jays.
Well, you know what? My family, first of all, it's a lifelong passion. My grandfather played, my dad, my brothers, my nieces. So my very first childhood memories are watching the game. I'm from Cambridge, Ontario, so we'd go to my brother's baseball games. As a kid, I remember my first game, May 22nd, 1992, and the same May 1993. So first of all, my family, just watching it together. And then over the years following the team, I'm passionate about what they do on the field, but off the field too. I volunteered with the Jays Care Foundation for a couple of years. And so we're able to do a lot of community outreach programs in Toronto and across Canada. And it's not just something on the field, but it's something that actually reaches the whole community. So I love what baseball does for the city, for our country, and I hope that the world is watching. I hope the world is watching and eyes are on Toronto. It's not just the U.S. anymore. Like, this is our game too.
And do you feel, being in France right now, do you feel more Canadian than ever? I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Oh yeah, like, I miss being home. I miss being home. I mean, France is great, but days like this, I'm just like, you have to be where your heart is, and my heart is with the Jays. No one's watching baseball at 5 a.m. in Paris.
No, you got that right.
I think the closest bar, I could find some fans in the UK.
Yeah.
So I could fly to the UK, watch it with the friends and people in the UK, or I could just come home. And you know what? I just came home.
Well, in every sense of the phrase, welcome home.
Thank you.
Welcome home. Have a fantastic time. Let us know what it's like. Send us some pics of what it's like from where you're sitting.
Let's go, Jays.
Okay, go Jays. All right. So, Aura, obviously, diehard Jays fan living in Paris. Lucky you. All right, so it all comes down to tonight, as Aura said, for Jays and the millions of fans like her across the country and beyond. What a journey it has been. Here's a look back at some of those very big moments, from winning the American League pennant to some key pitches and plays that brought fans to their feet in the Fall Classic.
So proud of every one of you. Enjoy every single moment of this tonight because you guys earned the out of it. Let's go!
I felt great feeding off of each other and getting it done. I kind of blacked out. I was just excited. He's their best. He's their best. Incredible moment for us as a team and an organization.
Underway with a fly ball to deep left. Gone!
I'm a champion. I'm a champion. I'm a champion. I'm a champion. What's my competition? They envy me. Followed by dessert. Yeah, the sweet taste of victory. So let me ask, what you think?
Re-aggravating it. He's got all winner to heel if he can swing.
Center, it's a base hit. Springer.
Not this on the end of the bat, but still hits in a good spot.
Fly ball to left. And this one is a double. He got it.
All right, Devin Haru is back with us. Hey there, my friend.
Hi.
We need to get serious now.
Yes.
We're like an hour-ish away from the first pitch. So talk to me, if you can, about some of the challenges the Jays are going to have to deal with.
I love that we just got a look at that highlight reel because I think it really showed the essence of what this Blue Jays team is. Defensively, they're solid. So if they're going to win tonight, there's no margin for error. They have to be solid defensively. I think in some of the games throughout this series, Adrian, we've seen defensive blemishes be the difference in a Game 7. That could be the reason why you're hoisting that trophy or you're not here tonight. Ohtani is a starting pitcher for the LA Dodgers. What a storyline that is. They courted him. They wanted him here. Well, he is here in the capacity nobody ever thought.
But he hasn't, I mean, I don't want to curse anything, but he hasn't really been that big of a threat for the Jays so far.
So far. But at any given point, he can take over the game. He's one of the best two-way players ever to play this game. And I think early in this game, what the Blue Jays have done to starting pitchers, really good starting pitchers all season, is they wear them down. So even if they're not getting base hits, the big home runs we've come to learn from this team, they have to foul off pitches. They have to make Ohtani work. It's Game 7. This has been a heavyweight battle, and you have to wonder, how tired are these guys?
Yeah.
There's nothing to rest up for tomorrow. This is it, Adrian.
Well, that was going to be my question, because you just look at them and I feel like they're pretty banged up.
Yeah, and I think you also felt that way after that 18-inning classic, and you wondered how the teams were going to respond. The Dodgers came out flat. The Blue Jays rallied. They won the next two games in LA. And yet you have to believe that for as tired as these teams, these players are, when they woke up this morning, Game 7.
Well, like Ernie Clement, he said he slept for an hour and then just decided to come to the stadium early.
Yeah.
Because where else would you want to be? And he said that, he's never played in a Game 7 except in his backyard as a little kid. And he played a lot of them in his backyard as a little kid.
I still can't believe this is what it's come to.
Yeah.
It really is a pinch me moment, and it's wonderful to hear stories like we heard from Aura just a second ago, traveling from France. There have been stories like this, Adrian, for a month. The boys of summer, now into fall, have taken this country far and wide around the world on a journey we'll never forget. And as you feel the energy build outside of this stadium tonight, you and I talked about it, felt a little off last night. Felt like, Tonight, festive, excited. It feels like everybody is ready to walk into this moment with this team ready to make history, ready to win a Game 7 at home on Canadian soil.
From your lips. All right, thank you, Devin. So one last look for the moment. You're looking at a bird's eye view of the Rogers Centre. We'll pull that up for you in a moment because it is just over an hour until the first pitch. There it is. There's that bird's eye view of the Rogers Centre. It's a beautiful building, and it doesn't look as crowded from the air as it feels down here. I promise you. It is packed around these streets. It is packed in the stadiums in Newmarket and Markham and Mississauga and outside the Aga Khan Museum. It is the Scotiabank Arena is full. We're an hour away. It's going to be a good show. This do or die Game 7 showdown between the Toronto Blue Jays, the Los Angeles Dodgers for the World Series title. Our special coverage continues right after this.
Hit well to deep left center. And this one will go. And another strikeout. He got it. 2. Line drive to right field. Diving catch. Barger. Game 5 is underway with a fly ball to deep left. Gone! Into left field, but caught. The throw to second in time.
It's been so fun, eh? Hey there, I'm Adrian Arsenault. Happy Saturday, Canada. Welcome to our special coverage of this evening of Game 7 of the World Series in Toronto. So as the countdown to Game 7 ticks on, again, let's just give you another sense of where we are. You're looking at a bird's eye view of downtown Toronto. This is naturally the center of the baseball world right now. We're Game 7 of the World Series between the Jays and the Dodgers, and you know all this goes tonight at the Rogers Centre. So this is it, right? This is the winner-take-all game with millions of Canadian baseball fans, longtime fans, bandwagon fans, people who are just ready for this Canadian moment, ready for an epic showdown. And joining me now from inside the Rogers Centre is Steve Schneider. Steve is the father of the Blue Jays player, Davis Schneider. Nice to see you. I'm trying to imagine what is going on inside your gut. How are you feeling ahead of this game tonight, Steve?
Thanks for having me, and it's a pleasure to talk with you. Yeah, some butterflies a little bit. Try to think of it as just another baseball game, but I get nervous before all the games, so a little bit more nervous, but still nervous nonetheless.
Steve, are you like that parent who is sort of sits in the stands and you kind of like, you hit the balls with your child, you sort of catch the balls with your child that you can't help but wiggle around in the seat?
I gotta be honest. Every game, I mean, my wife got on me. I think she called me from Game 7 of the ALCS because my daughter Madeline said, "Dad's not sitting in the seat; he's up in the concourse walking around." Me and Mr. Springer left our seats a couple times during the Yankees series. We were standing watching the TV when Aaron Judge struck out with the bases loaded because we were so nervous. And last night, everybody was standing, and I had to sit down and just listen for the crowd noise with a lot of Kevin's strikeouts. I'm like, oh, I can't take it. But yeah, I get a little nervous and pace around a little bit.
The whole country's been talking about your meta glasses. Are you going to wear them tonight?
I got them with me, but I'm just waiting till the right moment. I want to get the last out. I'm not going to jinx anything. Some big moments. If I get some nice hits on there, and Addison or Ernie or one of the guys drives in a couple runs, I'll have those on there for to keep in my phone. But I'll wait for the big moment. Hopefully, I get the last out on it, and we get a trophy presentation too. So that'd be nice.
That's perfect. They might get covered in champagne, but that's okay.
Yeah.
How's Davis feeling right now? What's your sense of how he's holding up?
I wouldn't know. We didn't talk to him today. The first time I saw him since we left LA was last night. We went down after the game, talked to him for about 5 minutes. He was in good spirits, and said that. I told him, I said, that was something special, huh? World Series home run? He's like, yup. And I said, all right, well, good luck tomorrow. And it was a short conversation. We don't talk to him much during, before games, after games. He doesn't know the lineup early. So he's always been that way. We just leave it low key. We weren't the parents that discussed games after Little League, riding back from the field. He was asleep by the time we hit the parking lot most of the time. So, coming up to Canada and driving to New York, the Yankee Stadium, this has been a lot of travel baseball. Like tonight, hopefully, when he gets the trophy, we're going to go back to the hotel, pack our bags, and leave by like 3 a.m. because my mother-in-law's home with my sister-in-law. So we got to get home as soon as possible. We won't be able to hang around for the parade, but that's for the players anyway. We'll watch it on TV.
Wow. Does this remind you at all of like Little League days in a way? I mean, how much mileage did you all put in your cars?
Oh my God. I told my wife the same thing, and she kind of said the same thing. When we were up at Fenway and we sat down in the family section, first people we met were George Springer's mom and dad, and my wife was kind of awestruck because she loved George as a player, and she said, oh my God, that's Mrs. Springer. And it was kind of like sitting in the stands at a travel baseball game. Everybody had their kid's jersey on. Everybody had their Blue Jays gear on. For Davis, it was like the young guns with the Tri-State Arsenal, where he played with a team called the Dirtbags in Jupiter. All the parents wore the gear. So it was a larger stage, but it was kind of the same feeling. You know, it's been a great ride that the Blue Jays have blessed my son with drafting him, and you know, he worked his way through the system. So we're always thankful. It was the first time I met Mr. Shapiro on the field. I met Mr. Rogers, and I met Mr. Atkins before, and I thanked them all. I said, thanks for giving Davis the opportunity. We're having the ride of a lifetime. So
I love it. And your ride of a lifetime is this viral video that, I mean, I don't know. In Canada, we love this. And if people haven't seen it yet, I don't know where they've been. But let's just play it for them now, and then we'll talk about it. Here we go.
Okay.
Steve, I can't stop laughing every time I hear that. How quickly did you start filming when you did that, or were they just rolling all the time?
I was filming like that was the first pitch. So Davis, he led off, so I was going to get that, and then I kind of shut it off. I usually shut it off after every pitch. I don't make long videos, but I turned it on right when it looked like he was about to throw the first pitch, and got it. And we were kind of far away. The perspective on the glasses is kind of off too, but I couldn't really see left field too well. When the guy went up the wall, I thought he was going to rob him of a home run or a double. And when it went over, I couldn't really see the ball. When it went over and people were cheering, I knew it was a home run. So it was pretty amazing. I told my wife, I was like, I had to self-edit myself. There's a big gap there. I said, holy, and I almost said an expletive, and I caught myself. And says my wife's a pretty God-fearing woman. And she listens to all the Blue Jays podcasts, the walk-off Game 14, all those things. And she's like, why do these guys have to curse so much? And I'm like, so I thank goodness I didn't say anything I'd regret, especially since it went across the country like that.
Well, you showed extraordinary restraint. I felt that pause. I was like, I wonder what he was going to say. One last question for you. We know that Davis kindly offered his couch to Addison Barger the other day. Has anybody else been sleeping on his couch, or do you think maybe he's been able to have like one good night of sleep?
No, I think I don't know if he had any sleep or not. I think he got up actually a little later today, but because we had breakfast with his girlfriend this morning. But he said he was in real good spirits. He got a call from Spencer Horwitz and Griffin Conine. They were kind of joking with him. And you believe you're playing in Game 7 of a World Series? And they were kind of giggling, on the FaceTime call. And so he's enjoying every minute of it. And I honestly don't think he gets nervous. I don't know how it's possible, but it's been, I think Addison got his hotel room this time. I think they had all that prepared, because I think all the players are staying here at the Hotel Marriott, and we got a room here as well. So, they all got rooms this time.
Fantastic. All right, party at the hotel after. Steve Schneider, thank you.
No, you're welcome. Thanks for having me, and go Blue Jays.
Go Blue Jays, you got it. So it's been pretty electric around the Rogers Center for this Blue Jays postseason run. CBC's Greg Ross, what a trooper, has been right there in the thick of it, I feel like, for 27 days. What's it like out there right now, Greg?
Actually, Adrian, we're just taking a walk around here outside just to get some of the vibes, some of the atmosphere here in the Rogers Center, just to understand how people are feeling going into this one. I got to tell you, yesterday we were walking around out here, and the vibe was one of excitement. I think people were confident. I think people felt like it was a done deal, that they were going to win the World Series last night. I think the vibe I'm getting here is a lot more tension. There's a lot less of that kind of excitement, people trying to get in on the camera, people wanting to talk, people excited about witnessing history. I think people are tense. People want to witness that history. People want to see this team win the World Series. But just look at this crowd. There's not a lot of people jumping around. I mean, look, wait, we're live on CBC. How excited are you right now?
Awesome. So excited. They're going to win.
All right. They're going to win. That's what they say. But, I mean, there's got to be nerves. It's Game 7. The difference is the Blue Jays suddenly find themselves facing elimination. A loss tonight. This game is over. Some more fans. You guys, it's Game 7. How nerve-wracking is Game 7? Are you going to be nervous tonight?
I'm not nervous at all. We're gonna take this.
Win.
No problem.
We're gonna take this.
I love this team. They've got it.
They love this team. They've got it. But I just don't feel the same sense of just confidence that fans had yesterday. You got Max Scherzer on the hill for the Blue Jays in this one. He's 41 years old and going up against maybe the greatest player ever to put on a major league uniform in Shohei Ohtani. How do you feel about that when I put it to you like that?
Confident. They've got this. They've got it.
Ohtani's tired.
3 days rest. He's pitching on 3 days rest. He pitched in Game 4 for the Dodgers. He'll be back here starting Game 7. And, I mean, look, he's a guy that can knock the ball out of the park, too. It's not just what he's going to do on the mound. It's what he's going to do at the plate.
We have Ernie Clement. They don't.
Ernie Clement.
We've got Scherzer, old or not. He's younger than me.
Max Scherzer. Miles Straw yesterday in the clubhouse was asked if he had seen Max, if he had heard from Max. He said, I did, I saw him. And somebody said, how did he look? And he said, mad. And they call him Mad Max for a reason. But you look around here, people are now an hour away, less than an hour away from first pitch, getting an opportunity. All right, we got some Dodgers fans. You are feeling confident right now after a big victory in Game 6, and now you've got Shohei Ohtani on the hill. Does that make you feel like this is a foregone conclusion?
Nah, we're gonna win though, regardless.
You're gonna win regardless, but now you're feeling, hey, these Blue Jays are for real.
They are for real. They're Game 7 for a reason. I can't talk smack.
Talking smack, I like that. But you were talking smack. You say it's over.
I got all them to defend me.
You got oh, they're not. Hey, you have nothing to worry about here. I'm just in terms of this game tonight, though. You're pretty confident.
Yep. Dubs all the way.
All right, Dodgers. You guys from LA?
Yes, we are.
All right, you came in for LA just for this, or were you here last night as well?
No, we just booked it yesterday when they won after the game.
They booked it yesterday after the Dodgers won. You flew in this morning. How much sleep have you got?
No, we flew in 5 o'clock, and then we flew in at 5 p.m.
You got here at 5 p.m. Came right to the ballpark.
Literally right here, right now.
All right.
Yeah.
That's dedication. They're feeling good about the Dodgers tonight, but I think if you people here, we're live on CBC right now. Those Dodger fans say it's going to be the Dodgers. You say?
Jays. It's obvious.
It's going to be a tough one. You got, again, Max Scherzer against Shohei Ohtani. It's an epic matchup if you think about what Max Scherzer has done. A first ballot Hall of Famer, a guy who's won the Cy Young against maybe the greatest player ever to wear a Major League uniform in Shohei Ohtani. At least he could potentially be with what he is able to do, Adrian. And it's Game 7 of the World Series. It doesn't get any better than this.
Greg Ross, doesn't get any better than you, my friend. I got to say, watching everybody, I think a couple of things. I like the respect people have for each other's teams, right? They know it's going to be tough. They know the Dodgers are good. The Jays are for real. But also, I think people are exhausted. As you talk to the fans, they have been staying up late, still going to work, coming out again, going baseball's again today. So I think, I don't know, it feels like there's a bit of that vibe. Yeah, I hear you.
I feel their pain.
All right, so we'll get back to
do.
Greg Ross. I know you do. We'll get back to Greg Ross a little later, frequently. Hang tight, Greg. Thank you. So fans are gathering across the country to watch Game 7. Certainly we've been going back and forth to Toronto's Nathan Phillips Square as people have been, slowly, because it's cold, slowly filling in the square. Deanna Sumnak-Johnson joins us from there now. I can see behind you. It is filling up a little bit, Deanna.
I don't know if you can see a gentleman on stilts. There is a Jays fan on stilts who I believe is just going to make an on-camera appearance right now. That is some big Jays energy right there. Wants it all. The crowd, Adrian, has grown substantially. I think we're talking about 500 to 1,000 people probably right now. And some of those fans you're talking about, I was just mentioning, they've driven in from across the province, some from other provinces. And here I'm joined by 4 fans from London, Ontario, who drove in. We have Seth, Judah, Dylan, and Joey. Guys, thank you so much for freezing here and standing with us.
It is very cold.
It is very cold. You guys said we're cold, we're a little bit hungry, but your spirits are absolutely upbeat. And I asked you, my first question was, how are you feeling about tonight?
I'm feeling very good. The Jays are going to take this home.
Okay, what do you guys think?
Let's go Blue Jays. They got this all day.
We got it. Always Jays
We
in 7.
want it,
yo. We're going to win.
Right. We believe.
Guys, we were talking about a little bit about after what happened last night, after the heartbreak of Game 6. And some people are saying, have the Jays lost a little bit of the confidence, the bravado? What are you guys saying to that?
Oh, I don't think they've lost anything at all because they're going to come back stronger than ever right now. We've seen they're a good team, a good friendship, a good family with that, and they're going to take this one home.
Yeah. It was a heartbreak, but they always bounce back and they show up, and I believe they got this tonight.
And you know what I love, Adrian, is that they were quite honest that some people here are longtime Jays fans. My friend Seth here is a bit like me, a little bit of a more fair weather fan. How long have you been a fan?
I got to say like 6 or 7 days, honestly.
Best 6 or 7 days of your life.
Yeah, seriously, it's been amazing.
This is, I think I love this range of experiences that's really binding people together behind, Canada's team, Adrian. And we know that there's going to be a musical performance here. The game is going to be streaming live on this big screen. And people don't care about the cold. I mean, I was told there was somewhere between 4,000 and 6,000 people here last night. So we're expecting at least that tonight for the final game, Game 7 of the World Series. Guys, any last words? What do we want to say?
I think we're just going to say we're cheering on the boys. Yeah, Blue Jays at 7. Let's go, Blue Jays!
Let's go, Blue Jays! Come on! They want it all, Adrian. That's the word. Want it all. That's the words we've been hearing all night.
All right, Deanna, I love it. And you know what? Good on him for admitting he's been a fan for 6 or 7 days. I think for a whole bunch of people, this is like binge watching a brand new series.
Yeah. Exactly. Some of us are just like him, and I'm proud to admit it. I think lots of people jumped on this bandwagon, but we'll probably stay on it for the years to come.
You bet. All right, Deanna Sumanak-Johnson at Nathan Phillips Square, not far from here in Toronto. A little closer, though, is Thomas Daigle, who's at Rogers Centre, as fans are still filing in. Thomas has been on the field, off the field, in the stands, just outside. Both teams chasing history tonight. So, I mean, we all think about what a win would mean for the Jays, but what would it mean for either franchise, really?
Yeah, I mean, on the Jays side, there is a personal story to all this. At the core of the Blue Jays right now, in recent years, has been those two players, a dynamic duo, longtime friends, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. And to see them together win a World Series would be phenomenal, not just for them, but for the fan base who've supported them in recent years, especially through those 3 wild card runs where the Jays failed to win a single game. Don't forget, this may be the very last game where Bo Bichette is wearing Blue Jays gear. He enters free agency in the offseason and certainly has not said that he's committed to Toronto. He just recently said that all he's thinking about right now is the World Series, and so who knows what will happen in the coming months. So there is that aspect tonight that I think many fans will be thinking about when those two players individually come up to bat. But on the Dodgers side, they are looking at cementing their legacy as a dynasty. This would be the 9th World Series title for the Dodgers, the 3rd just since 2020. And speaking to fans in LA just in recent days, you get the sense that they expect this. Quite the opposite from here in Toronto, where people are energized because it has been so long, 32 years since this team has gone all the way. In LA, it's very different. And, with the top payroll, either number 1 or number 2 payroll in all of Major League Baseball, depending on how you calculate that, the Dodgers have a very good shot.
Thomas, I remember at one of the, was it like 100 years ago or just a few days ago, at one of the news conferences when you asked about the notion of this is a David versus Goliath matchup, which was a good question to ask because at the time that's what it felt like. Do you think that perception has changed?
Yeah, it was the U.S.-based baseball pundits who at the start of this World Series presented this as a David versus Goliath matchup, and that the Dodgers were going to cruise to a third World Series title in recent years. But a lot of those same pundits have had to now say, no, this is a Goliath versus Goliath matchup. And at that media availability with Jays manager John Schneider that you were referring to, I asked him, this was before Game 1 of the World Series, I asked him, what do you make of this perception that this is a David and Goliath matchup? He said, it's wrong, and he said the worst thing that we could do as a team is look on the other end, look at the other dugout, and say there is Goliath over there. I don't know if he was talking about the Dodgers in general or specifically about Shohei Ohtani, and I think the Jays have not done that. Indeed, they have looked at the Dodgers as equals. They have tied up this, well, in fact, they were up 3-2, now tied. And, you know, just one more note, I asked Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on Media Day before Game 1 of the World Series whether he was sort of insulted by this perception that it was David and Goliath, knowing that he had just been named American League Championship Series Most Valuable Player. He said, no, he's not insulted, but remember who won that? David, in this 3,000-year-old story. So if you want to talk about David and Goliath, perhaps the Jays have got luck on their side here.
Bring it, born ready. All right, Thomas Daig at the Rogers Centre in Toronto. Thanks, Thomas. While we're talking about Gladdy, I want you to have a look at this. So just a few hours ago, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. arrived at the Rogers Centre. There he is, wearing a Marie-Philippe Poulin Team Canada hockey jersey. Poulin is known as Captain Clutch for a reason. She has game-winning goals and very high-stakes moments, including 3 separate gold medal Olympics hockey games. That includes the gold medal game at the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. Clearly, Vladdy looking to channel some of that energy in this game tonight. But incredibly, we don't have this video for you yet, but you're going to get it soon. Guess who's in the house? Marie-Philippe Poulin is in the house. And guess whose jersey she's wearing tonight? You know which jersey. She's wearing Vladdy. So as soon as we turn that tape around, we will show that to you, and we'll be right back. Oh, the things we have learned in the last few days. Here's one. Blue Jays infielder Ernie Clement sort of revealed to everybody that the glove he has used throughout the entire postseason isn't some fancy, customized, brand new glove. It's one he bought off eBay. So he told this to Major League Baseball Network analyst Kevin Frensden before Game 6 of the World Series when Clement was asked, hey, talk to us about the glove you're using. Have a listen.
You bought that on eBay, your glove? You really bought it on eBay this year?
Yeah.
Why? That's awesome.
My other one broke, so I needed one quick, and that was already broken in, and my other ones aren't broken in the way I like, so...
So you have no idea who this is?
No.
I wonder if they do. Do you think they have any clue?
I tried to look. They deleted their eBay account, so I have no idea who it is.
No way. So they stole that. That's probably someone's stolen glove. Like you.
Yeah, maybe.
That's awesome.
They made some money off it. So.
That's awesome.
And it's also, there's not a lot of padding on this old mystery glove that he uses, so he tucks another one inside it. So keep an eye out for that if you see him. Just a little reminder that one person's trash could help someone else win the World Series. Now, baseball has long been known, you've heard this, as America's game, but Canada has made significant contributions of its own to the sport. Let's talk about that. Joining us now from the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is Scott Crawford. Thank you for being with us, Scott. You know, we hear it. Baseball is considered an American sport. Help our hearts here. What are some of Canada's contributions?
Yeah, I mean, we have tons of contributions dating back to 1793 in New Brunswick when baseball was first talked about. You know, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Royals baseball teams that started in the 1890s and played for 60 or 70 years of professional baseball before the Blue Jays and Expos. You know, going back further in the 1800s, the Beachville game in 1838, the baseball really got going in Guelph. The first team was in Hamilton in the 1850s. They played London and Ingersoll and Guelph, and so there's a ton of baseball in Canada for a couple hundred years. So it's Canada's game just as much as it's America's game.
Is there any way to measure that love? I know this sounds maybe like a crazy question, but there's just a presumption that Canadians love hockey. Where does baseball sit in comparison with that?
It's right up there. It's not talked about as much. I mean, they always say hockey's Canada's national game. So, you know, people always talk about hockey. But I mean, baseball, we've had over 280 Canadians play Major League Baseball. We had 22 Canadians in the big leagues this year. So it's definitely a passion for people. We just need to speak louder. And again, like we have that long history of a couple hundred years of baseball in Canada, and it goes further back than hockey. And we just need to promote the game and push the game and get more kids playing, and it will be around forever and ever.
You know, Scott, as we talk about the Blue Jays, you know, as the only Canadian team in Major League Baseball, there's been lots of chatter about Vladdy's dad's team, right? The Expos. What happened to the Expos? Do we need the Expos again? Is what's happening with the Blue Jays making any sort of dent in the idea that does Canada need two teams?
More baseball, the better. I would love to see the Expos back. I mean, they were our first team, right? I mean, 1969, the Expos started just a couple years after the Montreal Royals left. And I really think that, you know, more baseball in Canada is better for baseball in Canada. You know, we had the Vancouver team out in British Columbia, and we have other pro teams spread across Canada, a couple in Quebec. But, you know, Blue Jays has definitely taken the nation because they're the only major league team. But hey, I'd welcome more baseball with open arms.
And in terms of World Series runs, I mean, I sort of remember 92, 93, definitely remember 92, 93. How does this run pair up with those? Or are they just completely different every time?
I think this one's actually quite different than the early 90s. In the early 90s, the Blue Jays were a powerhouse. They had the highest payroll. They were coming off playoff runs in 89 and 91. And we knew we were really good in 92 and 93. And we got a whole bunch of top stars in. This year, we weren't really expected to go to the World Series because 2024 was a rough year, as we all remember, from the Blue Jays. So people didn't really know what was going to happen in 2025. So I think this year is more of a surprise than the early 90 years were. And that makes it all the more exciting because, you know, back in April, we weren't thinking Game 7 of the World Series for our Blue Jays this year. We were hoping it would happen, but we weren't thinking it was going to happen.
Win or lose tonight, who do you hope to see in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame next?
Well, there's lots of guys that can, they're all playing. They got to be retired. But, I mean, obviously Vladdy Guerrero Jr., who was born in Montreal because his dad was playing for those great Expo teams. You got the George Springer. You got the longevity. You're looking at the longevity for those teams, for those players. So, the Springers of the world, Bo Bichette, those type of guys are the superstars of the game.
Okay, fair enough. All right, tonight they're all superstars to us. Was Scott Crawford with the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in the lovely St. Mary's, Ontario. Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome.
Devin Haru of CBC Sports. I've been watching this. You haven't gone anywhere. I love it. Biggest moment so far, these playoffs.
Yeah, let's go down a trip down memory lane right now to all leading to this moment, right? Okay, so they take on the Yankees. Yep. Not many gave them a chance, Adrian. And I think everybody went, uh-oh, when Aaron Judge nailed it off the foul pole and everything felt like it was swinging in the Yankees' direction. They went into that bullpen game, and the Blue Jays pitchers just mowed down the Yankees, and the bats got going. They win that series, and they move on to the Seattle Mariners. They're down 2-0. They lost the first two right here. Everybody's going, they don't stand a chance. They go on the road. They win a couple, they bring it back here, they win the last two, and guess what? They won a Game 7. George Springer, bottom of the 7th. I was in the stadium that night.
Amazing.
I'm still recovering from that, Adrian, as we get ready for another Game 7. Then they take on the Dodgers, and throughout all of this, everybody has doubted this Blue Jays team. They've never stopped believing that they could beat the best in baseball. They're taking on the defending World Series champions. They go into LA after that 18-inning heartbreaker, and they win 2 games on the road. In a place, Dodger Stadium, all the lore, all the history, all the winning there, they took down the Dodgers to bring it back here. They fought all season to have home field advantage in the most pivotal moment. It doesn't get more pivotal than Game 7 of the World Series.
So I have a question for you, and forgive me if this is going to sound dumb. But you hear people talk about hockey and talk about teams wanting it more, and that maybe that desire to want it more can make an actual difference. But you don't hear people often say that about baseball, that it's so technical.
Yeah, but I think it's a fantastic point because throughout this entire series, we've heard about the great players, the all-stars of the LA Dodgers, and the great team. And I think that's going to make it has made a big difference to this point. And I think in these pressure moments, that team aspect, that belief, those intangibles that you can't quite put your finger on might play a big pivotal role here tonight because it is a Game 7 where weird things might happen. Where the margins are so slim. And it just feels that because the Blue Jays have endured such kind of quirky ups and downs throughout this season, that they're bulletproof for a game like this. So it's a great point. Yeah.
Interesting. For a sport where people are obsessed with their spreadsheets.
Throw that out. Throw it out tonight. It's a Game 7. We've seen it, a lodge ball, 18 innings. This is actually Game 8, Adrian.
Yeah.
It's Game 8 because they played 2 the other night. Yeah, so it's been incredible.
Let's talk about the jerseys because we saw Vladdy coming in with that jersey, Marie-Philippe Poulin's jersey. There it is, right there. So obviously that's a message. He wore Austin Matthews' jersey last time.
That's right.
That was Game
7.
Yeah. People weren't.
That was
super
a choice.
Thrilled to see that. A little nervous to see that. This is sort of extending across the sports. It's extending to women's hockey, which is, the women have been so fantastic, winners all around. And then what did we see?
Yeah, so Vladdy walks in wearing that, and it sort of wells up the Canadian pride.
Yes.
A lot of Canadian flags behind us here as people make their way into the stadium. And just a short time ago, video surfacing from inside Rogers Centre.
Look at
Captain
that.
Clutch. Always there in the biggest moments for Canada, Adrian.
Marie-Philippe Poulin.
Marie-Philippe Poulin. Of course she would be there, returning the favor, putting on a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. jersey. It gives me goosebumps.
Now, it's not just that she's here tonight. This women's hockey team have shown up here. They were here last night.
They were here last night. They're cheering on this team. It is a Canadian effort. Everybody pulling in the Blue Jays' direction. That is what is so special about this. You see the guests.
Yep.
You see the fans. You see Marie-Philippe Poulin. They've all got the gear, and they all believe that just that little bit of extra effort is going to be the difference. Everybody across this country, Adrian, doing their part to try and get a World Series titles to Toronto.
Man, I wish we could bottle your enthusiasm. One day we'll figure it out. One day. All right, Devin, thank you very much.
Right.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. Pretty great energy out here outside the Rogers Centre as fans get ready to witness baseball history no matter what happens. CBC's Jamie Strachan is at the heart of all of that. Jamie, you're right on front seat, right in front of the Rogers Centre. What are you hearing around you?
People excited to go to what could be a seminal sporting event in this city's history. Adrian, allow me to share just a couple of tidbits with you in the few minutes I have with you. First off, the get-in price for this game still hovering around $2,500 Canadian, about half an hour before first pitch, so still a very difficult ticket. I was just down in Los Angeles for the middle part of this series. Lots of celebrities who you think are kind of fair weather Dodger fans. One of them who has made the trip north, who I just had a quick chat with, Pat Sajak of Wheel of Fortune fame. No fair weather fan. Also, something I'd like to share, just getting off the elevator a moment ago, saw the starter of this game, Max Scherzer's wife and family, heading up the elevator, asked her how she feels. She said, "We've been here before." That's true. He's one of the few people in baseball history to have started a Game 7 of the World Series. One other thing I wanted to share with you, a lot has been made about, this is professional sports, this is Game 7, there is no bigger stage in baseball. But in the end, baseball players, human beings, a lot of these guys have played with each other before. They know each other from coming up through the minor leagues, going back to high school and college. Alex Vesia, Adrian, a lefty out of the Dodgers bullpen, has been away from this team during the World Series. He left the team to deal with what the team is calling a heartbreaking family tragedy. The Dodgers have been wearing his number 51 on their hats in a show of solidarity. Relievers in the Blue Jay bullpen, including Sir Anthony Dominguez, Mason Fluharty, Louis Varland, also now wearing that number 51 on their hats. It's a big game tonight, but these are baseball players in the end. So a little humanity here at the Rogers Center about half an hour before what is the biggest baseball game played in this city in a long, long time.
Yeah, sorry to hear he's going through that. I'm glad people are stepping up, and good for you for recognizing Scherzer's wife and family. That's not easy to do. That's Jamie Strachan outside the Rogers Center. So let's go now to CBC's Lane Harrison. Lane's in a pretty neat spot at the Rec Room Roundhouse, not far from the Rogers Center. Look at you inside, nice and warm, crowded around people. Set the scene for us right now. What's happening?
Oh, well, we've got a lot of fans in here who are playing games, getting ready for the big game. I've got some over here playing baseball pro, very fitting to get ready for tonight's matchup. Tell me about, you can hear a little of the game there. Tell me about your jersey. Who are you representing? All right, a lot of excitement here. We got multiple generations of Guerrero jerseys. Dad, tell me how you're feeling about Game 7 tonight.
They're going to win.
Yeah. Why?
Coming out. Because it's the Jays and it's been 30 years. It's about time. Let's go.
All right. So you heard it there, Adrian. Fans here are ready for tonight. They're getting themselves warmed up by playing some little games here. And then we've got some big screens for the big game. And there are tons of people in here tonight. I'm sure if the Jays win, they will be pouring out into the streets in excitement. But we got a few hours until we know if any of that's going to happen. And the fans will be watching along closely here.
Lane, if I were you right now, I would have my loonies with me, and I would be sitting playing those games. I hope you have a good time, and I love the love for Captain Kirk, Alejandro. That is fantastic. That is the CBC's Lane Harrison. Stay with us for more of our special coverage this evening of Game 7 of the World Series right here in Toronto. Tick, tick, tick. We're now just minutes away from the start of Game 7 of the World Series. Toronto Blue Jays, you know this, facing the LA Dodgers in this winner-take-all contest.
One team, one country, one series, and we're going to win this thing.
One team, one country. Fans all across this country will be watching, including the seniors at a Winnipeg Assisted Living Center. Residents have been gathering to watch every game of the World Series, from longtime baseball fans to brand new converts. But the rest of the country is also watching, and much further west. CBC Sam Sampson is with fans at a watch party right now in Edmonton. Walk us through what it's like there, Sam.
Well, this is another place, Adrian, that has been packed every single World Series game. We are at the Hawks Nest at the Edmonton Riverhawks, so that's a West Coast League team here based in Edmonton. They actually hold the record for most fans attended in the league, so you could say baseball's getting pretty big in this hockey city. And I've got a couple of fans with me here right now. This is Nathan Spence and Quinlan Hawkswell. Thank you so much for joining us. So I understand you guys are regulars here at the Riverhawks a bit. You've been to a couple games at least.
Yeah, we love coming to the Riverhawks. It's just such a great atmosphere. The team is fun.
It's a good time. We've been to like 4 or 5 games this year. It's pretty sweet. Good times.
But how have you seen baseball grow in Edmonton, even just during this World Series run for the Jays?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I've had more coworkers, even people, they've never watched baseball before. They're maybe cricket fans, and they're like, oh, can you explain how it works? After every game, they come to work, want to chat about it, and it's just been bringing a lot of people together. Yeah.
You have had friends text you, right? That have never watched ball.
So many friends who have never been into baseball before, multiple co-workers and whatnot who seeing my hype and me get pumped about it, have been watching games, message me for them saying this has been crazy, stressful. It's been awesome. It's been sweet getting more and more people into baseball.
As lifelong baseball fans then, really quick, say I'm a diehard Oilers fan. There's an Oilers game tonight, a home game. Convince me to watch the Jays game, not the Oilers game. Go.
The Oilers have made 2 Stanley Cups they've made 3 Stanley Cups in the last 20 years. This is the Blue Jays' first championship in 30 plus years. It's got me not able to speak properly. Tune in, come see it once in a lifetime. Let's go Blue Jays, baby.
Yeah, exactly. We've got big personalities, and it's just fun. It's bringing the whole country together rather than just Edmonton, right? It's nationwide.
Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. I won't take too much of your time because I know the game's about to start. So thank you so much. Those are lifelong baseball fans, Nathan Spence and Quinlan Hawkswell. And I gotta say, in this hockey city, even the hockey fans are starting to tune in more into baseball. Here's what an Edmonton-based podcast host told our CBC morning show just on Friday.
There's a lot of people that kind of feel the same way. It's like, I didn't know I need another sport to stress out and care about and put my entire personality into, but here we are. And I think the other piece of it, which is a huge contrast to NHL, which I am a diehard fan of, they seem so light and happy and joyful. And it just seems like such a different community than hockey that you can't help but get into it. I used to think the games were so long, and now they're flying by, and I'm like, because I'm watching everything, and there's that strategy side of it too that I wasn't really paying attention to until now.
That's the thing. There's something romantic about baseball. The power of friendship, one might say. It's different from hockey, as you're hearing. Not better or worse, just different. And you can feel that here in Edmonton. So I'm hearing the national anthem. That's my cue to sit down, watch the game, Adrian.
Fantastic. Go get him, Sam. I got to say, this is just the kids in the park. And I went for a walk earlier today, and there are kids everywhere in the neighborhood where I live who are clearly found their baseball gloves from the summer and are playing in the streets, in the alleys, in the parks. And it's just, there is a very different vibe about this November 1st. It has been completely electric vibe-wise around the Rogers Centre for this postseason run. Greg Ross has been right there, is still right there. Greg, they're singing the anthem, so it's happening. What's happening outside, though?
People are just bracing for what could be a special moment tonight, a big moment, not just for this city, but for the entire country. But look at this. You got fathers and sons. These two good friends, longtime friends, coming here with their two sons. You watched the 1992-93 World Series runs on television. I mean, and now you're getting to share it in person with your kids. How exciting is that?
We're looking for a repeat. Something special like Touch 'em All, Joe. Maybe we'll see something like that.
Touch 'em All, Vladdy.
Yeah, Vladdy. I like that one. Any of them. Any of them.
But how special is it to bring that? And how old are you?
8.
You're 8. You had to think about it. He's 8. He's 8. 8 years old. What's your name again?
Jacob.
Jacob. So you're going to go to a World Series game. You're going to see what could be the biggest moment in sports for this team in decades. I mean, what does it feel like?
Good.
Good. That's a good. You want to feel
Jays,
good,
right? Go Jays.
Now, but to be able to come here with your young Jacob here, I mean, that's got to be special for you.
It's very special. It brings everyone together. It's great for Canada, great for Toronto, great friends, father, sons, just looking for a Jays victory.
You got your 12-year-old boy with you. How excited are you? You got your World Series hoodie on. You're ready to go in there and watch a team that could do something very special today. You got a big smile on your face with good reason, I'm sure. What are you excited about?
I hope the Jays can win.
You want to be there to see it in person. You'll be telling your kids about the fact that you were here if that happens. And how does it feel to you to be able to come in here and share this moment with your kid?
There's nothing like it. This is amazing to be able to share this with him. I felt we were robbed of a three-peat 30 years ago. This might be the start of the three-peat we should have had. So go Jays, go for Game 7.
All right. This guy is chomping at the bit to get in. How
huge game today. I feel a big Ernie hit for the guys. You know what I mean?
He kind of looks like Ernie Clement over here. Feeling a big Ernie hit. There you go. So there you go. I mean, it's a big moment out here for this city, a big moment for this country. I'll send it back to you, Adrian.
Greg, I love that. You know, the kids have it right. Like, how does it feel? Good. What do you want? The Jays to win. I mean, yes, that's the bottom line. That's what everybody's looking for. That is the CBC's Greg Ross at the Rogers Center. So the Blue Jays, Dodgers, this is baseball supremacy tonight. Yes, the Dodgers are looking to win back-to-back championships. Okay. The Jays are hoping this hometown crowd propels them to their first World Series title in 32 years. This is the first Game 7 of a major championship in sports since 1964. They need it. I'm Adrian Arsenault. Thank you for watching. We will have more coverage after the game, no matter what the result. But I think it is safe to say, let's go Blue Jays.